If you're interested in getting your old criminal case sealed here in Arizona, the waiting period is the most confusing part of the law. Hello, my name is Darren Woodfork, and I'm an attorney here in Scottsdale, Arizona. In my firm, we specialize in personal injury law, and we also help people restore their rights. We help people seal their old criminal cases, and we also help people get their gun rights back. The new law here in Arizona that seals old criminal cases that started about 2 years ago, January 1st of 2023. Over that time, I've sealed probably 60 or 70 cases here in Arizona. And I've learned some things from doing that. And then what I want to talk about today is the timelines, or the waiting period, I should say, for sealing an old case. Now, under the law, if you want to seal an old case, for the lowest crime in Arizona, the class 2 or class 3 misdemeanor, you have to wait 2 years before you can file a motion to seal that old case. Next up from that is the class 1 misdemeanor, and that's basically your DUI cases here in Arizona. Then you have to wait 3 years from the date of the time you paid off your fines, and I'll get into that in a second. And that's for the DUIs, the class 1 misdemeanors here. You have to wait 3 years. There's a 3-year waiting period, essentially. For the felonies, which are the next level up, the class 6 is the most lenient or lightest felony. It's 6, 5, and 4. For those cases, you have to wait 5 years after the date of paying off all the fines to file a motion to seal. And then the last two are the class 3s and class 2 felonies here in Arizona. You have to wait 10 years before you can file a motion to seal. So that's the law. I mean, those are the waiting periods under the law, under the statute. The statute is 13911. That's how long you have to wait for that. Now, what starts the clock is when you pay off all your fines and all your restitution, any other fees. Obviously, if you had to serve any jail time, you had to be out of jail, get off probation, all that stuff. When all of the requirements are completed, that's when the clock starts, and that's when you have to wait, and then you can file your motion to seal your old case. A lot of the time, and it's in my questionnaire, basically I always ask them, are you sure? I ask my clients, are you sure that you've paid off all your restitution from your case way back, in 1992? And again, because people forget, and that's what will stop you from getting your old case sealed, is having outstanding restitution that you have to pay. And so in that case, and like I said, and then you'll have to pay it, and then you have to wait the actual time periods of what I just said under the law. Now, what is interesting about the waiting periods in the statute for sealing your case is that it kind of just basically, when the law came out 2 years ago, it kind of made explicit what was already implicit in basically everyday practice of law. And what I mean by that is when they said you have to wait 5 years for a class 6 felony, then that's under the law. Well, before this law, when we would file motions to set aside old cases, which was like the best expungement law here before this new law about sealing, before we would have to wait 5 years anyway, or 7 years anyway. I would have the people come in, and I would tell them, if it wasn't 5 or 7 years since the old case, I tell them, well, it just really hasn't been enough time for the judge to see that you've been a law-abiding citizen, if you contributed to society and all that stuff. It just hasn't been enough time, and a judge will probably deny it anyway. And so I've been saying that for 25 years when people came into my office to ask me to get their old cases set aside. And again, set aside was the law before this new motion to seal law, which is 1,000 times better, actually. But anyways, so I told them before, I said, look, the judge is going to deny this just because they haven't seen enough time now. And so now the motion to seal law basically makes all that explicit. And then I will mention once before in this video is that when you file your motion to get your gun rights back, now the gun rights law is different than sealing your old case here in Arizona. When you file your motion to get your gun rights back, now in 2025, the judges are requiring that you have to have your fines and restitution, all that paid off before you get your gun rights back. That's not in the law. But they've kind of read it into the law now. I've seen that over the last year or so, where the judge, they'll deny the case if the restitution and the fines aren't paid off. However, in this case, and I'll put this in the card because I talked about this in another video, when it comes to getting your gun rights back anyway, the judges will tell you that they're denying the motion because you haven't paid all your fines and restitution, but they'll give you an opportunity to pay it. Once you pay it, then they'll grant the motion almost immediately within a couple of weeks. So that's one big difference between getting your gun rights back and sealing your old case. So that's the gun things. And also another thing I'll mention about restoring your gun rights back too. In the law anyway, in 13908, I think it is, and 910, it tells you how to get your gun rights back if you've been convicted of a dangerous crime, or what they call a serious crime here in Arizona, a class 2 or class 3 or whatever, with dangerous allegations or serious allegations. They tell you in those statutes that you can wait 10 years and get your gun rights back. But from what I've seen in the last year or so, the judges are denying all those cases when there's a dangerous allegation and a serious allegation. So even though the law says you can file it after 10 years, even if it's been 15 years, I've seen the judges deny cases with dangerous allegations. So if there's guns or any type of things like that, or gangs or anything like that, I just usually tell potential clients that the judge is going to deny it anyway, even though the law says you can file it. That's just kind of the reality of what these judges are doing every day downtown in court right now. So that's, again, I'm trying to give you just a little information on what the requirement is to get your old case sealed. It's probably one of the biggest issues that's came up in the last 2 years of filing motions to seal old cases. And so I hope that helps you. But if you're interested, and if you're an Arizona citizen, you have an Arizona, you don't have to be an Arizona citizen right now, but if you have an Arizona conviction from way back when, if you want to get that sealed, please get in touch with my office. We can do that for you. And again, we've been doing it for 2 years now under the new law, and it's been working just like it was supposed to, and it does work. So anyways, if you have any questions, please shoot me an email at derronw@msn.com. I'll leave all that in the description. And if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.